a huge percentage of domestic violence.
Okay.
However, it is also the part that is rarely reported. A lot of people don't even recognize that they are going through abuse. Some, even though they recognize they're going through abuse, they are fearful of reporting it because they want to protect that relationship. Whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, they don't want to break up with their boyfriend, so they can't tell you that their boyfriend is beating them up. Until it gets to the point where they're like, they need to talk to somebody.
Right.
Or, my husband is preventing me from working. I hear this too many times. And then the emotional abuse comes in where they say, you want to leave the children with somebody else to go and work. That is playing emotionally on the mind of the woman, trying to make her feel as if she's an irresponsible mother by taking the children to school so that she can work, or hiring a nanny to take care of the children so that she can work. And so a lot of these people, men in this particular case, play on that guilty part of the woman, trying to make them feel as if they are, like a reverend said, they are undervalued, they are inferior, they are complex, you're a bad mother, why do you want to abandon your children, stay at home, don't go anywhere. Already, it's that conversation about when women have children, they want to stay at home.
Yeah.
Even on a regular, a lot of women want to stay at home because they want to do more.
Yeah.
So imagine you making the woman feel even worse by calling her or making her feel like she's a bad mother so that she can be at home. You're denying her money. That is economic abuse.
Okay.
You're denying her access to that money. And then you're emotionally abusing her. But assuming that a woman in her right frame of mind, all the information that she has, decides that I will stay at home, take care of my children, you are the only one who is bringing in money, then you should know that automatically that money you're bringing in, she has a share in it. And so when you decide to choose how she uses that money, that is another form of economic abuse.
Wow.
So, yes, because now, like he says, the man is the head. So you are lording it over her, forgetting that you have taken that decision together. So if there's going to be one stream of income, it's going to be shared by everybody in that household. But then you get to decide that, no, I'm only giving you this for the house, this for this, this for this. Then she cannot freely determine how she wants to use the money or access thereof. If she wants to buy a car, she cannot, because now she doesn't have the means to. She cannot tell you, oh, the money you made today, let's use it to buy a house, or let's use it to buy a land. No, she has to subject herself to your whims and caprices.
Interesting. I'm still going to stay with you. A few education on the law will be very, very helpful. I know when it comes to the law, you guys are very, very explicit in your, not entirely explicit, but their definitions. So do you regard violence and abuse as the same thing?
So we use them interchangeably to mean the same thing, because violence is broad. Violence is an intentional act. Abuse can be lack of you acting, it's an abuse.
Right.
Or overusing a certain, or there's something that we call unconscious abuse. Because you are either underdoing it or you are overdoing it. If you have a privilege, you go overboard, you are abusing the privilege. Because of your privilege, you are doing X, Y, Z, an abuse. But for you to be violent, you need to actually it's an intentional physical action.
Okay. All right. So I'd like to know, do they both carry, how do you determine, especially when it comes to the emotional and sexual part of it, and do they all carry the same sentence? It's a crime, isn't it?
Yeah, so like I said, we use it in law, we use it interchangeably, because then nobody really has time to come and say, no, this one is abuse, this one is the same thing.
Okay.
Now, so if it is sexual abuse or sexual violence, we use it the same thing. What we are interested in is what exactly is happening. So, for instance, is it rape? Is it indecent assault? Is it defilement? Those are the things. All these forms of all these sexual crimes are sexual abuses or sexual violence. So we are not interested in really differentiating abuse and violence, but what exactly are you doing? And then there's a name for it in our crimes. So if it is sexual, we have the sexual offenses. There are so many. If it is not sexual and it's physical, you're either assaulting somebody, or it's battery, or unlawful harm to the person, whatever it is. If you're supposed to take care of your children, or maybe you're supposed to give some monthly income for your children to eat, and you're not doing that, it's abuse on your children. And so, especially with the Domestic Violence Act, there's so much that goes into there. And the protection for the victims are enormous. You don't need to even go get a lawyer before you can get protection for yourself. If you go to a police station, you'll be able to get certain protections for yourself under the Domestic Violence Act. So nobody necessarily has to be jailed. Not everything under domestic violence is a crime, but it is also wrong. So the protections are there in law to guide us and then the victims.
Beautiful. Christopher, I'll come to you. I know that you've been very quiet for a while now, but I want to go back quickly to Reverend Daiwole. And I was asking you if there are signs. Now, from the education I've received from MKN, the signs, some I'm sure you can tell, some you can tell, because if it's going to come from a family member, you don't know that your family is going to abuse you. So I think I was limiting it into relationships.
Okay.
So let's stay in relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, maybe friends who live together. Do you sometimes see, or do you see signs of abusing a person before it happens?
Yes. And mostly from a relationship perspective, it begins before marriage.
Okay.
It's clear. That's why we call them the red flags. It's clear. You're in a relationship with somebody, the person tells you, I am overprotective, but the person is abusing you.
Hey, I'm overprotective, no sweet.
Of course.
Protective.
No, the word, you see, protecting someone shouldn't be in the place of abusing the person's right.
Okay.
Irrespective of the fact that you want to express your love and care for people, it shouldn't infringe on the rights of others.
Okay. What about being territorial? Because we say we're territorial. I know why I'm asking this. Like, you're being territorial with your partner. It's not because you want to abuse them. It's because you know it's relationship stuff. Somebody could just come in. So you're just being territorial. This is my space. Don't come in. Are you abusing that person?
Yeah, people, I think some time back we had a discussion and we were talking about office stuff like that. It works. The person could be just a colleague at work. Okay, so like you work with my wife and maybe you meet my wife out of office and you have certain flow with my wife from the office and you express the same flow with my wife and I come up and the next thing I see is I hold my wife, pull her inside. My friend, what is the meaning of this? At least sometimes we should have some sort of honor for ourselves.
Of course.
To the point that you need to sometimes understand people that the fact that the person is around you doesn't mean the person doesn't have that sense of rights to flow with others. Just you feel it.
Yeah.
Being cool with everybody. Why is it a problem? It's even another field of expressing your inability to trust the person.
Right.
It means that you yourself, you're not secure, you're not psychologically okay.
Is it always the case? I mean, we're not having this conversation today. We're not having this conversation today, even if you see clear signs and you're being protective. But I get what you're saying.
For the protective, let me put it in context. If you had anything you wanted to protect, you want to put it in, let's say, shield it, right? That's for the whole point of protection. As for it to become, there's nothing wrong with being protective. It becomes a problem where you ask yourself, does the person you're protecting have room to freely express their free will? Yes. If it is no, then you know there's a problem. If it is yes, then the next question is, the person you're protecting, when they grow, whether in mind, physical, whatever, would they have room to express themselves or to move their hands to, if you have your hand covered like this and there's a bed in it, and it's a very tiny bed, it's moving around, you can feel it. Does that bed have the opportunity to look outside, sing, whatever, speak? If it is no, then you know that you're killing the bed. If that bed grows, will it have the opportunity to spread its wings if you are still like this? If it's no, then you know that there's a problem. It's the same thing with human beings. So if you're protecting your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever it is, does she have the right to say, I disagree with you? Can I move around freely and do something that I want to do? If it is no, then it's a problem. If I grow tomorrow, that means that my thoughts are different now will I still have the free will to do or express them? If it is no, then it's a problem.
I mean, I totally agree with you guys. Even like you said, whether in marriage or relationship, every individual is a free moral agent.
That's right.
So whether you marry the person or not, the person is still an individual in the marriage. So there are certain things you can't control. Even if the person wants to go away and do whatever they want to do, it is not you're not in a place to stop them, fight them, abuse them physically, emotionally, and sexually. So, I mean, we can all agree to this.
Economically.
Economically.
But sometimes it even cuts across from the point where people want to just relate with friends and other people, even to the point that people sees their fiancé and their wives from relating with their own family. I don't like this person. Is that person? You said the person is your uncle. How come he became your uncle? Ever since I came to the house, I've never met him before. Do you know everybody in her family? Have you even been permitted to enter fully? So I think all these things, there are many things to show, that this person is
can be violent, you know.
And sometimes the person slaps you one, and then you think, oh, he will change.
Right.
No. That's
it, eh?
That's it.
People do change, by the way.
People do change, but not in context of slaps.
Christopher, I know you've been quiet to speak for a while. Tell me what the Ghana Girls Guide about. What are you planning this November?
Okay, so thank you for the question. As they said earlier on, I think the Ghana Girl Guides Association also do partake in the 16 days of activism, as she said. So this year we will do same. We'll raise awareness on domestic violence, and also we will reach out to the communities as we do always. So we as an association, we also have an initiative called STV, which is Stop the Violence. So we teach the young ones how to speak out for themselves whenever they are being abused, and also we educate them to be able to identify this is an abuse, because some of them are going through but they don't know it's an abuse. So as we go on to educate, they get to realize, oh, okay, this is an abuse, I can speak out. And we also have something we call Her Sanctuary, like we've done it a safe space, because some people feel, as they said, they feel comfortable with maybe friends more than their parents. So we create that safe space where these young ones come meet peers of their age. They talk about issues that affect them. We play around so that they can also share their thoughts on how to bring down these violences. And for Ghana Girl Guides Association, there is this typical community in Upper West Region, Japa, where we did a little bit of survey before we went there. So when we got there, we got to realize that young girls and women over there do suffer a lot of violence, like, as she said, intimate partner violence. Yeah. And the root cause we discovered was poverty and also overdependence on their husband or boyfriends for money. So we decided to educate them, raise awareness. But raising awareness only and educating them would just be like, we just went there to read. So we decided to equip them with skills, like skill training, like how to make liquid soaps, how to make this detergent, so that whenever they can also say that I have this I'm doing with my hand, so that even if the man doesn't give you money or provide you your daily meat, you have something that you are doing with your hands that will help you in the future. So, but when we were doing that too, others were saying, so are we telling the girls not to respect their husbands? Or yes, that is not what we mean. We are basically trying to tell them to be self-confident. But you being confident doesn't mean you are disrespectful, but you, in as much as you have something you are doing with your hands, you have to respect your husband. But we only come in when the person abuses you. That is when you have to speak out so that you get the necessary help you deserve. Yeah, so this is what we are planning. So this year for the 16 days of activism, we will do it as we do it always. We will help raise awareness on our social media. We also organize a walk and walk through the street to raise awareness on violence.
At what age do you enroll the girls?
Into girl guiding?
Yeah.
Okay, we start from 4 to infinity. Yeah, 4 years and above.
That's really good.
Yes, please.
And why do you think it's important for us to have this conversation? Also because you're a girl leader in this association. You've gone around, you've met people and all that. How important is it for us to have this conversation? Okay,
so this conversation is very important because this thing of violence has been in existence for a long time and we are still trying to bring it down. So I think the main the basic way to reach out to the girls or to make them understand is education. Because if we don't, we have to explain to them that, oh, this is violence, this is, because some of them, even when we went to the Upper West like this, some of them were going to, but they didn't know it was violence. So education was good. So this education is really good for the girls because they will be able to like understand and they will be confident enough to speak out when they are being abused. But if we don't talk to them at the early age, oh, when this thing is happening, you can talk to your teacher, you can do this. In other countries like Uganda and the rest, they have a school can have like a number, maybe a 911 or something, where maybe you feel something is happening to you that you can't tell your parents. You can call that number anytime, anywhere, and they can attend to you. So we are trying to speak to them that violence must not stay with us. So anytime there is something going wrong somewhere that you feel uncomfortable, you can talk to your teachers. We are there to, guiding is true fun. So we tell you we are different from your teachers. We are here to teach you, but we play as well. So you can come to me, oh auntie, this, then I can, oh okay, I can refer you to our chief. We have people in the association who can take it from there.
Okay. I mean, our time is really up. I'm going to jump 2-3 minutes quickly to ask again Reverend Daiwill and maybe MKN quickly. When it comes to this conversation, it's almost like we're training a lot of girls to know that, you know, this is domestic violence, this is not domestic violence. I don't know if there's a conversation for boys as well, because typically, like we said, in relationships, physical abuse will come from the men. Physical ones will come from the men. So what organizations out there are helping also train boys to be careful and be aware of this conversation? And what's the worst that can happen? People will say that, oh, especially in our society. You know, if it's America, somebody says, I'm going through some mental challenge, they take it seriously. But over here, so what's really the worst that can happen? You have met people, you've experienced people, you as well. What's the worst that can happen? So our viewers can know that this is not a light conversation. And then if there are avenues out there.
For us who do training, we do training for both boys and girls. Okay. I'm sure Christabel will speak because girl guides specifically for girls, but we do trainings for both boys and girls. And you'd be surprised to know that boys are very much aware of the issues of abuse and violence as much as girls are. Okay. The only difference is it's important for us to let them know while they are young that certain actions are not acceptable because you're a boy. Let them understand from that younger age that being a different gender doesn't give you any superiority over the other gender. It creates a complex, you feel entitled, and it leads to abusive actions. So for that. But what's the worst that can happen? Death. A lot of abuses lead to death. And you are in the media, you get the reports every time. How many intimate partner deaths haven't you recorded this year alone? To hear that, oh, a woman died, was killed by her boyfriend, husband shot her, husband stabbed her, baby daddy did this, and all of those things, it results in death. When somebody is speaking out, no matter how small, we need to listen and take it seriously. And when we tell people go to therapy, please take it seriously. A lot of men think that men cannot speak. So when you ask men to go to therapy, they don't know how to talk. It is mainly, in my opinion, because of how they are brought up. They are not able to express themselves. So going to sit in front of a professional, they don't know how to do that. Right. And they also feel that if they are diagnosed, then that means there's something wrong with them. And you know, when a man feels, it's part of the whole ego thing that there's something wrong with you, that means that you are not a man or whatever it is. That is not the case. Okay. If you are healthy, your family is healthy. Okay. If you are healthy, make healthy choices. Your children are healthy. If you are not healthy, you create abusive pattern because it doesn't just end with the person you are abusing. It goes way beyond that. This morning, just while I was waiting at your reception, I read a message from somebody asking, do women in second marriages go through a lot of abuse as well because now she regrets leaving her first abusive marriage. And that was too sad for me. And people, so this is somebody who's thinking it's my fault. But this is not your fault. But you need to take yourself away from the abusive situation. Go to therapy, get healed. Then you identify these things so that you don't go in for another abuser. Because like Reverend said, the abusive actions, they are there. Even the examples he gave, that's when they are inflicting it upon you. A lot of them, they don't inflict it upon you because they love you. They don't want you to run away. But they inflict upon other people. You've seen it. But you think, oh, he's not doing it to me, so he will never do it to me. It's only going to take the right conditions for him to do it to you.
Wow. I can imagine what your day is like. All these things. And you too, Reverend Iwo, as a counselor and as a life coach, people coming to you all the time. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Really appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Where can we find you? Is there a helpline to call? I don't know, MKN, if you know any helpline in Ghana where people could call when they're going through abuse. Which ministry handles domestic abuse? I think it's DOVSU.
So, yes, DOVSU, but the Ministry of Women, Gender and Social Protection.
Okay.
DOVSU goes under it.
Okay.
DOVSU is just an umbrella of the Ghana Police Service. You go there, you walk in there, and then you can make a report. It's free. Unfortunately, they're human beings like us. So, depending on who you go and meet and their personal beliefs and preferences, they might either not take you seriously, try and put the blame on you and things like that. But I still encourage people to do so. Yes.
All right, Reverend Iwo, how do you get in touch with you?
So you can get in touch with me. You can call the number 0548 92 3959 0548 92 3959.
All right. Thank you very much, Reverend Iwo. A girl's guide.
Yes.
I want to bring my daughter.
Sure, she's welcome.
What do we do?
Okay, so the Ghana Girl Guides Association has their headquarters at Achimota Forest, the Blue Gates, right after the police station. And we also have our headquarters in Makola. It's in the same building with the APP bookshop. You can also visit us on Facebook, Ghana Girl Guides Association, Instagram, Ghana Girl Guides Association, Twitter, Ghana Girl Guides Association.
Christabel is girl lead at Ghana Girl Guide Association. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for
Reverend Iwo, life coach, and MK and
I want to
Gallatin.
add a number.
Yes, please.
For anybody who is either experiencing abuse, violence, or knows somebody who is going through, the ministry has something they call the Orange Support Center.
Okay.
It is a call center for domestic abuse. It's 0800 111 222. 0800 111 222. All you need to do is to call. Okay. They'll follow up. It's an amazing center. It doesn't have to be you. You don't have to leave your name. Just call, and then they would take it up from there.
Counsel, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your time. All right, that's it for our conversation on Lifestyle Daily. There's so much more on the show. Stick and stay.
Early detection saves lives, but early sensitization could do twice as much. So this year, we're taking our breast cancer awareness campaign to senior high schools across the country.
We are looking to educate the next generation of women who in turn will spread the word in their own unique ways. Early education, early detection, more awareness.
Our message is simple. Set a reminder, get screened, and cross it out. We're crossing out all of the fear, all of the risks and stigma attached to breast cancer.
Our high school tour will be making several stops at the Eastern, Central, Greater Accra and Ashanti regions, offering inspiring pep talks, breast cancer screening and education, amazing giveaways, and a concert to top it all off.
For further inquiries, you can reach us on 059-229-2746 or visit mx24.app/crossitout. Crossitout 2023 is proudly brought to you by Top Choco and Floral Tissues.